Act 1, Pelham Parkway, the old neighborhood where we grew up. Here we are having a Seder at home. Grandpa, Skookie, and Hussy relax after the feast. Grandpa was always a picture of Edwardian elegance in his celluloid collar from Orbeck's. He was very angry when Orbeck's gave in to style and no longer stocked the celluloid collars. Could we ever forget Mr. Bockian? He was the father of my friend Freddie. Mr. Bockian, a car mechanic, loved to do needlepoint. Beatrice and I are enjoying our favorite rock at the Bronx River. From this vantage point, we could hear the lions roaring from the Bronx Zoo. How we loved to paddle on the Bronx River. To us, it was a Garden of Eden, far from the city's hustle and bustle. A quiet afternoon. School is over for the summer, and now we have the luxury of quiet days on our favorite river. Beatrice was always a breath of fresh air, blonde and pretty as a picture. They called us the day and night twins. I fancied myself dark and sultry, like my screen idol, Hedy Lamarr. This was shot at Orchard Beach, our favorite summer hangout, a place to beat the heat. We had matching bathing suits. Beatrice and I proudly showed off our pin-up figures. It was at Orchard Beach that Beatrice met that sailor fella. I can't seem to remember his name. Oh yes, I think it was Stanley. Do you remember that summer we spent at Provincetown? Our Skookie is looking nautical but nice at the Coast Guard station. Skookie proudly photographed her two lovely daughters. We are wearing straw hats we bought at a P-Town boutique. Here is our Skookie with a fish he caught on a deep-sea fishing trip. Mrs. Santos, with whom we stayed, cooked it for us later. Do you remember Mike Diogo and his CB? Mike was Mrs. Santos's nephew. We considered him some kind of hero because he was a pilot. And here is Skookie looking lovely as she adorns a porch in Provincetown. Heavens to Betsy, it looks like that sailor fellow followed us all the way from Provincetown. Beatrice made a friend. Bea and I were always great dog lovers. That came from growing up with our darling favorite Fritzy, who passed away many years ago. Ship ahoy! Here we're having a little fun posing on a borrowed boat. The background is the Provincetown harbor from which the trawlers set sail. Pretty maids all in a row, or rather in a circle. Our Rosie looks no older than Bea and I. Triplets instead of twins, maybe. Pedro Valera was a blind student from Venezuela. Bea met him when she was a reader for the blind. Years later, Patty was to meet him in Venezuela. The year is 1954. We are seated at a terrace at Indiana University. You and Daddy came down for my graduation. Taking punch at the home of the president of Indiana University, and Daddy was pleased at punch to hobnob with President Wells. Graduation at last. This photo has me double exposed on the class of '07 celebrating their 50th reunion. And then I met the love of my life, Bob Kay. We met while students at the School of Visual Arts. We were married and honeymooned in Florida. Your gift, Mom, paid for the honeymoon. At the parrot jungle in Florida. It was a lot of fun to be a perch for the birds. Morty Bob makes a new friend. She is a Seminole baby, daughter of an alligator wrestler. Mrs. Mildred Kay, here a young married. I am standing on the Triborough Bridge on the way to visit Bea and Stan in Long Island. Bob and I stopped a minute to enjoy the scenery at Bear Mountain. And here I am, dressed in the very best artist's tradition. I am in front of my painting, inspired by the structures of the George Washington Bridge. Bob's brother Arnie visited us at our first place, a garden apartment in Woodridge. Eva and John are longtime friends, since high school, in fact. John is a math professor at Hofstra. Patty May, your first grandchild, our first niece, a source of wonder and awe, a chance to learn what a baby is. Mom and Grandma gave Patty May a first bath. She loved the water. Here, Daddy gets a kick out of watching Patty May enjoy her bottle. A lovely new mother with her baby, the first of 5. Yet to come are Karen, Philip, Buddy, and Clifford. All our love was wrapped around Patty May. Still only a twinkle in my eye were Eric, Michael, Leslie, and Heather. East is east and west is west. Patty meets Karen LeYoung, daughter of our next-door neighbor. Sister Bea makes a very convenient perch for our parakeet, Jose. He was Bob's first Christmas present to me. This is my favorite picture. Bob says that if any picture is worth 1,000 words, it is this one. Our glamorous mom at Rockaway. We spent many a happy summer here. And here is Daddy at Rockaway, as we will always remember him. Rockaway was a nice place for Bob and me to come and visit Dad and Mom on weekends. My glamorous sister shows her rowing ability. This is a lifeguard's rescue boat which we commandeered for our snapshot operations. I here am following the leader. I am displaying the proper pin-up pose as prescribed in the 1950s. And how about that for definition? Bob looks like the after pictures in the old Charles Atlas ads at the back of comic books. Patty rides piggyback on Stanley. She must be about a year old here. Patty and her teddy bear. Patty is wearing a favorite party dress. Don't you think she looks like Michelle here? Patty and Cousin Sally are in a great display of mutual affection. Here we are at Rockaway again. Aunt Blanche and Uncle Harry came to visit with their brood. They brought Grandpa down for the day. Grandpa always loved babies, and he had a lot of fun playing with Patty that day. And now we say farewell to that wonderful summer many years ago, as we will always remember it. To be continued.